So we help young Londoners broaden their horizons and actually get an understanding of all the different things that they can participate in across London. A lot of the young people we work with have limited networks, so they're not really aware of all the opportunity, and particularly during the pandemic where everything translated online makes it even more difficult for them to actually see that things are still happening and things are still going on, but to be able to sort of plug into that is particularly difficult. So the way that we support young people is through the app. They have the opportunity to have visibility on all the different opportunities that are out there across London, the various youth clubs, the various interventions that's available, but also to be able to access our mentors. So we, as a charity, offer a power of an hour, and that's where different people from different backgrounds pledge an hour of their time to speak to young people about their own personal career journeys, talk about what job descriptions mean, and to give them a real good understanding of how to access different worlds, essentially.
Yeah. How is it that you choose kind of the figureheads that you want to connect these young Londoners with?
Well, we start with the young person's interest as a starting point. So we're a grassroots charity. We've grown very organically. So it started with just a small group of people who felt that there wasn't much out there for them in society, and they didn't know how to kind of get their first job or how to penetrate different industries. So we just started by asking, what industry would you like to go into, and then introducing them to people that are already in that sector. And that has just grown, but we still operate in that way. So a young person, when they download the app, they can attend one of our introductory sessions, and that's where we find out a bit more about them and start matching them with different mentors.
Yeah, everything is done on an app these days, whether it's to sort of matching a person to a job or a person to a mentor.
Yeah.
Do you find that the pandemic has changed the service that you have to offer? What impact has that had on you?
If anything, it's actually made our service easier to deliver. So prior to the pandemic, we used to deliver our power of the hours in youth clubs, in City Islington College and some other settings. Being able to translate online has made it so much more easier for adults to give their hour. They're not having to travel anymore. It's just showing up online on that time. And easier for us to match young people with the different hours. So it's actually made our service a bit more easier to deliver in that way.
Now, you've recently been endorsed by the Mayor of London, and you do a lot of work with the Metropolitan Police.
Yes.
How does that fit in with the app and with the sort of work that you do with the wider community?
So as a charity, our reason for being is to work with the young people that are most vulnerable, those furthest in the job market, those that might feel a bit stuck, or potentially who might be sort of groomed to go towards gangs and don't really feel that there's positive connections that they can get involved in. So working with the Metropolitan Police is absolutely brilliant in terms of the drive from the police officers themselves that actually want to offer the young people more opportunity when they engage with them, and also for us to be able to reach the more vulnerable at a point where they do want to look more at their options available.
And how are you finding, what kind of jobs are you connecting these people to? Are they ones that would already be readily available online or at job centres, or is this stuff that perhaps they don't have visibility of? So
statistically, we know that 7 in every 10 jobs are not advertised or not widely advertised. It's very much, particularly with entry-level jobs, it's very much about who you know, and asking within the office, do you know anyone that could fill this position? So if you're not already connected into that particular network, it's quite hard to get visibility on those types of jobs, and that's what we try to sort of bring down to the young people. We do deliver at the moment in job centres in 4 London boroughs. So we're working with young people who are unemployed and are looking for work, and quite often demystifying what a job description means is actually so valuable. And if you don't have somebody that works in a particular sector, it's really hard to kind of understand what those keywords mean and what those particular employers are looking for, and that's what our volunteers offer to the young people we work with and give them that insight. It's so valuable, but actually quite hard to access if you're not connected in.
So as well as sort of opening up London and the job market and the opportunities that are available here to people aged around 18 to 25, on the other side, the app and the tool is being used by the Metropolitan Police in other ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
How has that been useful for the Met?
So when I started to engage with the Metropolitan officers in the youth engagement officers in Camden, they immediately saw the tool as something that they could use to increase their positive interaction with young people. If you imagine there's 50,000 police officers across London, it's impossible for them to know all the different opportunities that they could be signposting young people onto. So the app puts everything in one place. We've got well over 1,400 different interventions already featured on the app, and that's growing all of the time. So officers now can use it when they engage with a young person from 14 to 24, and essentially be able to sort of say, you know, there are positive things that you can get involved in. So police officers from custody, from the young offenders, schools officers, youth engagement, and also the TSG are using it as well as part of their stop and search tactics. Yeah,
this is obviously a grassroots charity that you've set up and is proving really useful for essential services like the police.
Yeah.
You know, is there a gap in the market here? Is the government not doing enough to communicate with these young 18 to 25-year-olds and make sure that they are aware of the opportunities that are on their doorstep?
Yeah, I mean, everyone does what they can to promote their interventions. I think with us, by putting it all in one place, it does make it a lot more easier for the young people that need to have visibility on it to actually have that. And that was one of the things that we identified with the young people we were working with. And we, to be honest, I didn't think there was much intervention going on across London. Then all of a sudden you kind of enter this world and you realise there's lots, but parents and vulnerable young people find it difficult to find. So that's essentially why we put the signposting element into the app, to make it very, very clear, depending on which borough you're in, all the different activities that are happening. And it's proving useful for us as a service, but also for other services such as the police.